that glitter paint, that hollow paint. Let me show you this absolutely gorgeousness set of little squares. I've done them last night as a trial and I figured, you know what, it is looking so pretty. How about making them in the grid journal? This little technique is completely different to what we've done here in the previous project. Grid journal, if you haven't seen it yet, you have to check this one out. As you can tell, we have 9 squares instead of 16. 8, 8, 16, right. So there's 16 on each page and here is only a 9. I just wanted to have a little bit of a bigger surface, and to be honest, this little square, it's gorgeousness and it's much more controlled. This one, it's more abstract. Let's just put paint in there, let's just go for it without any thinking. Which here, I'm gonna show you how to play with this gorgeous, beautiful shading, and it's a different idea with the outlining. Many times I have been asked, Marta, how do you paint with your super hard paints when they dry out? Well, put some water earlier before you start painting and let it sit, let it allow the pigment to dissolve with water and just create this lovely milky color with the water being mixed into it. As you can tell, here is our palette. We're gonna have quite a limited color palette. We're gonna do some beautiful pinky color. We're gonna do this gorgeousness gray color, grayish bluish, and kind of creamy whitey color. I suggest you to limit yourself to less colors and to actually choose and decide which colors you wish to go for. I'm not too sure I'm going to use this one. It is possible, but I'm not too sure. I have it here. I have put water in it in case I will be interested in that color, or white maybe to mix with. As you can tell as well, one of our most important part in this project is going to be this Pilot GTEC C4 pen. Check the link below. As you can tell, this one is reacting with water, and this is the best part of this project, and that's how we're gonna start our squares. Before we start, I'm gonna tell you the size of my book. It's 21 centimeters by 21 centimeters, and in inches that is a little bit above 8 inch by 8 inch, and my little squares are 2 inch or 5 centimeters, 2 inch or 5 centimeters, and in between this is 1.5 centimeters in between those squares, and in inches in between this is kind of ½ inch. Same for here, like half here in between. But honestly, guys, please don't worry about how perfect and precise that is. I'm starting my square by playing around with my Pilot GTEC C4. Now, there are 2 ways of doing it. Firstly, have a clean water. Let's start with that. That will be great. So either you can go with water and just jump in. I use my pencil around the squares only. Use your water and just jump in with your pen to start with. Or you can play with pen first and then the water. So it's really up to yourself. I think I think I wish this to be. I think I'm gonna jump in with water first and start adding the pen on top. Now this pen is reacting with water. The more water you give, the better reaction you'll get. Sometimes I'm not too sure if these cards are the best, like a watercolor. These are watercolor journal book that I'm using, but I don't think they are that great for watercolors quality wise. I think it could be a bit better because it's okay. Like, it is watercolor, but it's not as reactive as I maybe would imagine, I think, but that will do. Now jump in around with your pen and let's have that smudgy effect. What I have done here as well, I try to go inside the squares as well and look at this gorgeous pigmentation move. Look how things are happening. Be courageous, just jump in, just go for it, just do however it feels. It may happen that each of those is going to be very alike to each other, and you know what, that's okay too. I think with each square you're going to be more courageous, you're going to have more how can I say, more strength in your arm to actually jump in and just do stuff. As you can tell, more water, it kind of happened right away that it helped the pigment to move. With each square you're gonna be more courageous, you have less fear, and you're just gonna play better. And that's what happened in my previous project. That's what I remember actually. Now it is this technique in general, what I love about it is that you really have to kind of take your time with coloring technique and the way as things are mixing here. And what's important is that possibly we're going to be working first on one page and then on the other side, because this has to be sort of wet so that we can work greatly in it. There we go. I like that. I think each square is happening to be slightly different, similar but slightly different, and I think it's the mixture and taking time with this project today that will play a great role in it, in the project, in the final look. It's gonna be the beautiful shading that I hope we're gonna be able to achieve. You see, if the pigment is not moving much, just jump in with more water. Don't be afraid. Just go for that. Now I hope you can tell that I'm talking, so I'm not really focusing on what I'm doing, and that's okay. So I suggest you to don't focus too much of your attention on where you're placing your stuff, your elements. If you can just even distract yourself with something, so you're not gonna overthink of where you're gonna be playing around, how you're gonna play around, so you're not gonna catch yourself on structuring too much of your squares, because I guess the main part of that is to just go for it. Just, you know, it's a freedom process. It's a process of not overthinking. It's mindfulness, and you just don't look at other things. Just do however it feels in the right moment in each square. They happen to be different, honestly. I'm thinking that you know what, even though I said we're gonna do one side and another, I think I would go for simultaneously working. So I will actually jump in for that side, because it will just feel cohesive, and just in case, I don't know. And if I will need more water there, I will just add some water with the brush, and that's gonna be fine. If you don't have this Pilot GTEC C4 pen that I'm using right now, don't worry. You can first of all try the pens you have. Maybe some of them do react with water, so check on that to start with. Maybe you can excuse me, that's early morning, guys. It's 10 to 10. Hannah's in school. My niece is here next to me on the chair because we have a lovely visitor. So it's early morning. Emily's of course in bed. She asked to stay home today, so she did. She has a little holiday with her cousin once she gets up, because she's a little lazy bony. She loves her bedtime and sleeping. You can try and see if you have this one. It's the Elegant Writer. You can try this one as on the sides of your squares. I think honestly the beauty of this project, it's the fact that something is really dissolving here, and yeah, I'd say so. It's actually interesting that this color happens to be more pink than anything right now. That is very interesting. I don't know why is this happening, but it feels pinky pink. Look, it kind of goes pinky pink in some of the elements. I don't know why is that. Is this because I changed and one is different than another? That would be interesting. They feel a little bit more pinky. Now, I forgot to add pigment here, so I'm going back. I'm adding pigment more there. Now, I really wanted the squares to be bigger this time, but if you fancy going for 16 little squares, or maybe 5, however number it feels comfortable for you, just do that. I think for that particular technique that I'm hoping to introduce here, I really think I wish to stick with the bigger size so that I can be more precise in the coloring this time. And I hope you can see I am really not focusing my energy on sticking inside the box. It's quite opposite. If I go outside the box, that's okay. It's like in life. Actually think outside the box. Okay, my friends, that was a phone call, believe it or not. I used to do face painting for parties, and I stopped face painting when I got pregnant with Hannah. So we're talking about nearly 7 years, and people are still ringing. She said she had me in her phone book, in her phone book, like that makes sense. Yeah, in her phone book. So it's actually nice and cute to know that people still have my number, or they would recommend me. Lucas sometimes laughs and he says, Marta, why don't we go back and do 1 or 2 parties? I'm like, no, I don't feel like it. I don't think it's my cup of tea these days anymore. So no, I don't. But it's nice that people do remember, and it's nice that sometimes you get a phone call like that. Let's finish up that. In the meantime, there's so many phones around the house today that something is constantly jumping with some notifications. Wow, I love it. Like, look how different each of them is. That makes sense? Yes. We will be definitely needing a little bit of water going on. So what I may do is I'm gonna just jump in and just in between of that white, where the white is, I'm gonna just jump in and just help it out and do this. Now, the colors that I was hoping to play are here. So I may just add, no, there is enough, maybe this one. I may just add, I'm trying to think. I'm gonna start with, I think, this gorgeous gray. Now, if you're wondering what color is that, guys, I really have no idea. It's some handmade watercolor that I purchased for Christmas time, during Christmas, for the calendar, actually, Christmas calendar. Now look at the beautiful, like, it's much nicer if we jump in with pigment and with water first. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna certainly go back and wet the surface like I did here. Look at this gorgeous milky movement here. Lovely, lovely jovely. So I might just jump in with that, add a little more pigment. Now choose one of the segment of your square and just go with that darker. Let's choose some kind of darker gray color, gray or bluey, like in here. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. I think what's beautiful about it is the fact that it is working with the pen, the gray pen that we already have. And I think this is the main part, the main beauty of it, that they just matching with each other. Lovely. They just nicely, they are happy with each other. Now I think if you feel that, oh, I'm losing some white or something, just drag your pigment, get out that, and yeah, and just leave it. Or if you feel like, oh, I wish the pigment to be maybe stronger on that end, that's okay. Just jump in with that pigment. For sure, adding a little bit of water in here, like in the squares, let's say in here, that will help. On here, that will help with dissolving this gorgeous gray color. Now this is lost, the water, so I'm gonna add this, but in the meantime I'm gonna actually grab that pinky pink that I wanted, and I'm gonna do the same here and have a little bit of that pinky play. This is beautiful, like this kind of dirty pinky color. Now there we go. And what I may do is I'm just gonna try to have that play here and have these, mix it up somehow. I love how the pigmentation is happening here, and these two are actually mixing a little bit with each other. That is lovely. In this particular video, in this style of these squares, I really wish for the foggy effect. As you can tell, we have some sort of foggy effect. I really wish for more of a mindfulness play. So really think and focus where you're placing your color. And we're gonna jump in with that gray again. Beautiful. It's actually not gray really, if you think about it. It's more like this dark blue. And let's say here maybe we're gonna have this one happening. Oh, there we go. I love that. Now once it's dry, everything looks slightly different, of course. So we have this pigment happening there. How about adding that pinky pink here? I think I'm gonna jump in with that pink here. This square somehow seems to be the least well done. Maybe it's because I didn't add enough water. So when you have your watercolor play, it's good to add enough water. Maybe I'm gonna add this one here and see what will happen. And maybe in here. I was thinking, what's that noises? That was my leg making noises, actually. Yeah. So my niece is here, as I have mentioned, quietly like a mouse sitting and looking and thinking, crazy aunt, what is she doing? Yeah, she came for a week visit. Not the first time. It's actually her on her own visit. It's her third. Is it third, Natalie?
Yes.
Third visit. So she's well used to our house and all, and I think she's coming because she feels like she's coming back home. I hope, because I always says to her, you know, out of everyone, you don't have to acknowledge that you're coming. You can just arrive and that'd be fine. So we're happy to have her, and I hope that maybe one day before she goes, we do some watercolor together, maybe on the other channel, because maybe some watercolor flowers that I've done. If you haven't seen, this is on the channel. Actually, this is on the channel, a new channel. Let me show you this. Whoops, this will be on the channel. This will be on the channel. This will be, and this. Anyway, if you're curious, go to Maremi's Simple Craft. There we go. For the watercolor inspirations. Now, go back with water on those squares. I love how you can tell how beautifully that pigment is moving here. It is gorgeousness. And it's wet and all, and it's just right. I think it has to be enough wet, guys. Don't be afraid of that water, you know. And I'm gonna jump in with that gray again. So I will start with this here. Maybe this one here. And maybe this one here, actually. This kind of milky effect will happen at some point. Beautiful. I think we need some more water there. There we go. So it's dissolving and all, and we're gonna go back with water, wetting the squares. I think each of these squares, like I said in the previous video, each of them is a work of art, and it is. But I think in this particular video project, we're ending up with really mindfulness play, where you really have this impact of how your square is going to be built. And you're looking at your square and you're really thinking, which before I was like, okay, here. So it's a completely different play. I'm not saying bad or worse, I'm saying it's different, and it's nice to maybe think for change, Marta, think for change of how we're gonna play with it. The final is not final, because we are gonna be still adding different colors. We're gonna be playing again and again, adding pigments. So of course everything will be slowly just looking different with each square. And the cream that we're gonna add at the end will change it even more. It's gonna be completely different project, honestly. The creamy color will change, and then the holo paint. I have been using holo paint on my reels project, on my flower projects. If you haven't seen, you have to check it out. It's from the Scream Handmade. I have a coupon code, so check the description for Scream watercolors. They are amazing. The holo paint, I fell in love with it instant. It's this one. It's this holo paint here that you can. I have two of them. Actually, I have five, probably five little containers, because I'm using it like crazy a lot, and I just love it so much. Maybe here we're gonna go in the middle. That would be interesting, something slightly different. And maybe here we're gonna just do something like that. Follow up your sort of feeling. If you feel like, oh, it's not dark enough, go back, because everything is pretty much wet as well. It kind of it's going to be a constant movement sort of thing, you know. And possibly I need to add something here. Oh, there we go. Now we're going back and jumping with that pinky pink color. Let's see, maybe here, maybe like this, and let's see what will happen if you have too much water. Just wash it off, dry it off your towel. Now I think I hear Emily a tiny bit, possibly. Now I'm thinking that wouldn't that be nice to have this cleaned off a little bit. Maybe. There we go. Actually, you can just have this one even mixing up. I think I'm gonna check my messenger because I turned off 2 of my phones and I hear messengers bim 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 on my 3rd phone. I didn't think the 3rd phone is on. In this house there's, as Natalie says, in their house there's more laptops because her dad is working, he's electronic guy, but also from trade, but he's total into computers. So there is more laptops than people in the house. Same for here. In this house there's more phones than people in the house, truthfully. We keep all the phones. If we exchange for new or something, we never throw away the old phones. We keep them because like now Hannah is using some and stuff like that. So Emily is inheriting some of the phones. So we kind of cherish and care for our mobile devices and all. Do you know what? I'm gonna leave it. However, maybe this is tiny, not bright enough, or something. I don't know. I love it, but I somehow feel they are different left to right, but I don't know in what way different. How about playing with that creamy color as I have mentioned earlier? So let's do that. I think it would be lovely to have a little bit of that creamy play, and let's see what will happen. Maybe we'd have that creamy play here or here, and I'm gonna grab a brush, and in here I somehow really wish to dissolve this pigment, and same for here, and really have this milky touch on here, and maybe same for here. Let's see if we can have this milky touch. Actually no, I'm gonna just clean this off, that's okay. I will grab the pigment in here and have maybe play like that. There we go. You can see how different creamy and white is. I think the cream is really speaking volume right now, somehow adding to the party. It's not that I know exactly where to place it. No, I'm kind of testing the waters as well myself, where this could be nice and how we could just have it nicely played. I think we possibly will be going back maybe even more. Once this is dry, we can kind of emphasize or just make it even more about this yellowy, creamy vibe here happening, because I think it is really gorgeousness. I think we can have this excuse me, creamy vibe here in the middle, and another brush to just mix it up somehow and just make this in between all of that. Sometimes maybe finger will help. Sometimes it's because even the paper is not straight, so the pigment doesn't go as we wish, or it may just feels that it's going weird direction. I guess my plan for this one here is to have it somehow connected to the rest of the picture. In some of the squares I know exactly where to place it, in some of them I have no clue. It is more like a sense of, let's put it here. And let's, as I recently said, there's this saying, I laugh, or Lucas laughs at me, that in the court when I play my tennis, he says, you have all the gear that if you're going on Wimbledon, right? But your skills are not there. And I'm saying to him, look, fake it till you make it. So I at least start and I look well and I look like a professional tennis player, even though I'm not. Same for here. Fake it till you make it. Just try your best and just think you know it and keep going, and don't lose faith that yes, you know exactly what you're doing even though you don't. And a lot of times I told you that I have no clue what I'm doing, and I truthfully, in some of the projects I feel like wow, there's like this wow, amazing wow effect. In some of the squares probably I would like could be better, but look, with the time, sorry, it's a day of phone calls today, guys. That was Lucas. He's still actually in Poland. If you know, you know, he's in Poland, but he's coming back in 3 days. He stayed a bit longer after, you know, after, and he will be back, I think Thursday night. So he was asking, as he's always worried and stuff, he was like, did you tank the car? I'm like, not yet. Okay, so if you need to tank a car, put petrol and ring me, I'll tell you and help you out. Because I never do it. So when he's not around, like some of the things I just really never do. And you'd only realize it when the person is not around for some time. And he put the full petrol into my car, but obviously I was driving, and it's needing to be pumped back. So I'm like, yeah, I will ring you. So guys, as you can tell, I'm not going with my creamy color exactly where the dark is, kind of, I mean, next to it. Not, I'm focusing and putting my cream where the brightest part is. Now that I'm realizing, I'm trying to teach you something and I forget to tell you, but look, I'm kind of filling the whiter spots more than going on top of other colors and then mixing with the other colors. I guess that makes sense now. So yeah, I think I will go back, as I have mentioned. I think I'm gonna go back with my cream in a minute and just fill in few of the other places more, and have it even more creamy vibe going on. There we go. And with that kind of wet-ish brush, I'm just helping it out to have this creamy feel. Yeah, water will definitely help you to have this creamy feel and good mixture and all, but sometimes it can actually be also stressful because it will like play too much a role, and it will move too much of the pigment that you may not be able to control or be stressed over it. Don't be, it's okay. It's only paper, it's only water, it's only paint. I remember yesterday someone texted me, Marta, I have been collecting my supplies for so many years, and especially working in Michael's as well as an employee, I had a chance to buy so many supplies on the sale as well. Like, I have tons, Marta. It's unbelievable. And thank you so much for giving me the permission to actually play. So yes, guys, play. The permission, give yourself a permission to just play with the supplies you purchased. Don't keep it, don't store it, don't save it for tomorrow. Use it. Enjoy it. And especially those that you're thinking, oh, I spent so much, I'd rather use it when I know how to use it. No, learn with them. Enjoy the supplies you spend your hard work and money, and just play now. Even though you crap in it, that's okay, you get better. And especially using better supplies, you get better. It's like playing tennis. if you play with better tennis, I mean stronger tennis players, you get better. So with the supplies, could be quite similar. Don't be afraid to use your super expensive tools. Just enjoy them and allow yourself to actually use them, you know? So I'm going back with that gorgeousness yellowy kind of color and making it slightly darker in the corner so that it is just even more yellow, I guess, in some of the moments in there. And if things are not, how can I say, if things are not really mixed up well, that you feel that your milky effect is not there, or I'm not now destroying milky effect, that's okay, guys. There is no such a thing that you can't fix or go back or redo. You really can. Just allow yourself for mistake, allow yourself for trial, errors and all. It's all good. So I'm focusing my energy on the side as well here, and the yellow, if I repeat that kind of creamy yellow thing, I'm going on the edge to it. So making the kind of darker at the edgy sort of thing. Hope that makes sense. Actually, Natalie is so quiet that I don't know if she's breathing even. Yeah, I've probably told you plenty times about my niece Natalie, my sister's daughter. She is a mathematic head, not artistic mind, although I think she has potential into sort of being creative and arty and all, but she is definitely a mathematic brain, so not after her godmother, of course, that she didn't inherit that with me, but she loves dancing and singing, so that's like her auntie. And we were laughing last year. We were singing Queen song, Mamma Mia, not Mamma Mia, Mama do 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 do, and this year we were singing other stuff, and I have it all recorded, which is nice, because looking back, it's always nice to have these core memories and they stay. And I know recording is probably as well intimidating and all, especially for teens, like, but I think by now, I think everyone is used to the fact that I'm holding camera and I do capture these things, because you do forget, and then you do regret you never did capture it. So I honestly think it's so pretty. It is so gorgeousness. As we are looking at our trial page with Natalie, she mentioned to me that this one is more blackish and this one is more bluish. So we're gonna wait, because we're gonna still add a little bit of black once everything is dry for doodles. But I kind of myself miss a little bit of that darker pinkish. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna just jump in and add even more of that pinky. Now my question is, Marta, did you really use the same color? Because I have now my doubts whether I have used that pink or is it a different pink. No, it has to be the same, right? It is. It's just more pigmented, I guess. So I'm gonna focus a little bit and have my pigment slightly more darker on the edges in some of the parts, I think, because I just like that. I like that pigment color thing, but I just feel I miss the fact that it's, I really wish this to be a bit more darker, I guess. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna have to a little bit still add water and dissolve it, so it will be more played with the rest. We have to kind of milk it out towards the rest, but maybe we're gonna do it with a different brush, smaller brush, that will help us and allow us. Now the important part as well, Natalie mentioned and was asking me about that dark color here, why there is so much dark. I explained it to her that our hollow color, which is this gorgeousness hollow watercolor, silvery, but it's hollow, it's not silver, it's not metallic, it is hollow, guys. You're gonna see it for yourself. We are gonna be adding that on the gray part, and it's gonna be great. Adding on the gray part is gonna be great. That is so poetic. But anyway, I'm gonna just add slightly more pink into elements, into places, because I just feel we lost it, and that's okay. A lot of times you're gonna lose stuff on the way, because the water will play its role, because you won't notice it, because you won't, but then it's okay to go back and just rethink, redo, re-add, and it's okay. It's the same in life. It's okay to think that you made a mistake and go back and fix it, or it's okay to just make one step backwards to the final gorgeous look. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna just gently, no, this one is maybe too small, so maybe this one. So I'm gonna just gently grab that pigment here and just try to somehow mush it up and make it pretty a little bit. So basically I'm trying to get rid of that difference in between, right? Without having too much of the pigmentation lost in the darker surface, and have that beautiful movement going on. Now it is a watercolor, it is obviously, however it feels right, it's right. It's not that my way is only way or my way is best way. No, just allow the pigment to flow, allow the things happening. And watercolors reactivated. You can reactivate anytime the pigment, and it's okay. Now I guess now as well, what could be nice, you could jump in with your creamy color here and just, if you feel like, oh, it's not mixing well enough or something, you can just give it a chance. Oops, give it a chance and just have even more of that play in between and have that whiter kind of color going on. If you feel like in some of the mixtures I do love, some of the mixtures I'm not 200% sure, and that's okay. And have your brush dry, don't add sometimes too much water. Have that. Sometimes you can overdo. That's kind of where I am at right now. I feel that maybe not necessarily in some of the squares it didn't work as I wish, as I pleased. That's okay too. All the noises, all the extra noises. Now I think for example for this one, would that be nice to have a little bit of that creamy here. Quiet means people are focusing. How about if we're gonna just try it out with a touch of white? What will happen then? No, I think I prefer still the creamy color than the yellow color than the white. You may feel like, oh Marta, you've lost all your doodles. No, we haven't, don't worry. We will get back to stuff and doodle away more and more. Okay, we have that. However, do you know how I feel? I feel, no, we have yellow everywhere and all. Yeah, I think we can slowly start going back with doodles and just have that darker and repeat where it was done. And if it's outside the box, that's even better. And you can most definitely have new lines going on. You know, it's like I'm going back to where it was initially, but if you feel like having new lines, that's okay. This pen is magical. It really goes and writes on all the surfaces possible. Seriously. Loosen up your hand, guys. Just... If you don't own this pen, I'm telling you, you do need it in your life. You too, Natalie, actually. Didn't I send you this pen?
Maybe.
I think so. I think I did, because that was such a good... it's like for writing, for notes. Unless you do digital notes, which you do. But for notes, it's fantastic because it's such a delicate little nib. So it's really nice. Now, with that, what I'm doing right now, it's really intuitive. Like, I don't think what I'm doing. I'm completely zoned out and I just don't focus on what is going on here, what I'm doing right now. I'm following what I see. I'm kind of, sort of, repeating. But if I'm like here outside so much, that's fine. If I am gonna join two of the squares, that's okay. Sometimes you have to wait a little bit when it's really dry. Because it's not gonna write, because it's wet and it's very milky, pigmented pigment makes no sense, but you know what I mean. What could be interesting would be, I tell you what, to see if we can move the pigment even a little more, especially where the dark is, like, to see if we can have this going on. Marta, enough of that pigment, but I think it's not enough. I think that dark here, it will kind of just be... You will see for yourself what I mean. It's gonna be just this gorgeous, fantastic, eye-catchy element of the project once it's really there, the dark part. And what's next, maybe? Obviously water helps. Oops. Maybe not the whitish Marta water, maybe the kind of clear or gray more than anything. Yeah, I love that. Sometimes I'm quiet because I really do think to have this, what it kind of feels right in my mind, in my vision. As you know, I work on visions. A lot of times I do vision stuff. I do have things in my mind. You see the difference between this and this? It's a bit darker and it's more defined because of that darker elements. Again, this is the way I have a feel and vision for this page. Not necessarily do you need to have the same feel and the same, you know, this is just a suggestion, guys. This is just your guidelines for how to jump in with your page, what to do. But really, it's however it feels to you. That's actually bright. So what I may do is I may just have a little bit of darker going on there, so we may have a little bit of darker feel. We need to jump into the shop today for some fresh fruits, changing the subject, and some bread. Yeah. I love the focus here now that I realize it. Focus on in one sort of place, having it darker. It's not that easy to move that pigment right now because the pigment, as in pen, because it's on top of the watercolor. So of course it is just different, the movement. Now I think we're pretty much there with, oh, maybe here. Super gorgeous. I think it's important as well to stop and look, because you may overdo it. I have this tendency to overdo completely a lot of times, all the time. I fear of overdoing, and I still would just jump in and just go back again and again and again and just touch it and just do something. Okay, I think it's nice. I like that. How about we're gonna try this and do a little bit of, I think it would be nice to do a little bit of, for example, doodling of this kind. Imagine something on that yellow, maybe some lines like veins sort of thing, without really making much of a sense, or just delicate play. That's kind of wet here, so delicate play with the same pen. Okay, how about as you can tell, there is this repetitive sort of feel to each square. Even though they're different, they are in the same happy family zone. So you have the same colors, the same patterns, sort of the same feelings. Not that it has to be done, but I guess it helps to have this similar, or kind of the idea. No. Okay, nearly there. I think nearly each of the squares have something going on the yellow. We also have, wait, if I can find it, I have it. We could have a little bit of white going on. Maybe on the pink. A little bit of that play. So I've done black on the yellow, but you can do black as I've done here on the red as well. It's actually not making the straight lines because of the texture happening, which is nice actually. By accident, it is making itself nice texture. To be honest, I don't mind that at all. Your lines can go vertical, horizontal, however it feels. They don't have to go at all. You don't have to include them. A lot of times I have this that I include stuff and I feel like it's wrong until it's done and you get used to looking at it for 100 times and then you start liking it. So stepping away from the project a lot of times helps, because it just feels the next day especially like completely different to right now when you really are doing it. It feels out of place when you're finished. I have that feel constantly, that it's not good enough, that I could maybe swap that color or not add this there or something. Like the doubt is there always. It's a huge one and I fight with it, and I just stop thinking and I just don't worry about it, because I would go crazy if I be, will you love this project, will you like at the end of the day it's just a project that it's for us to enjoy, to simply have fun and maybe learn something along the way, but it's nothing that hugely important, if you know what I mean. I actually forgot to add water to to this our holo color. I have a coupon code for holo, so please check it out, the Scream watercolors. So let this set, and I think I'm gonna dry this one. Everything is dry, but it feels that something is not right in the project, and it feels that it's those lines that I don't like. And you know what, look, even if we do this, it's not that you're destroying you're not gonna get rid of that, and it's not that I want to get rid of it, but you will definitely make it more striking, visible, which is something that it just doesn't speak to me anymore, and it's now behind this cloudy feel more, if you know what I mean. So I'm just adding this water on top of that to kind of get rid of that very much striking lines. They just feel out of place to me, honestly. It just, when it when this dried, it just felt that it's a bit not what I want. And I guess rather than pretending to you, oh, I love it, it's so perfect, when it's not, I'm gonna just show you how you can fix stuff, or how you can just agree that things are not always what you love. And that's okay. Like, I don't mind this tiny element here, but when it was so striking in there, it was just a bit too much happening to my liking. Nah. And this one is Baby Wipe. I'm not saying we're gonna be able to get rid of them all, because this is just not the best watercolor paper as well. So it doesn't really... Oh, there's no lines there, haha. What I may do is I may just add a little bit of that creamy on top again, back or something, so that we will have this more behind the yellow-ish thing. Yellow or white, maybe we're gonna do white. Anyway, it feels better now because it's not as striking than it was. How about a touch of that white, just to have it shadowed? Not too much, but maybe just a little bit, kind of grayish. Maybe this could be like another element of color that we haven't planned, but oh well, it's there. So embrace it, enjoy it, and maybe just adopt it to your project, and that's okay too. Yes, honestly, I don't know your thoughts. Do you know what? Honestly, let me know. Do you think this... Oh, I forgot about... That's okay. Do you think that, like, do you like it? Or do you think it was not necessarily? Or how do you feel about it? Because honestly, I just felt that something was not 100% right with those lines. And it's okay to agree on... not mistake, imperfection that didn't speak to us that much. Yes, I think so, honestly. I think so. Natalie, your thoughts?
It's better with the white.
Yeah, I like the white on the red, and I liked it here as well. which is white on the red, and black, which we did black on the yellow, and that's why it kind of didn't feel right, you know. Maybe we can maybe we can add the black still and copy what I've done last night. Maybe that's why it just so speaks to me so well, because it just, I don't know, because it is just, I love the last night trial. Maybe that's why maybe that's the problem, and maybe this is why I can't get over it that easily now. But sometimes happy accidents, as Bob Ross says, like they can really lead you to some unexpected effects, and I think that's okay. That's actually no, that's more than okay. That's great, because you can just maybe discover something by accident. You never know. I think it feels lighter as well, like somehow. And you know what I also think? That I doodled around too much. I feel like there's nearly too much going on. Maybe it's just in my mind. Well, I'm sure it's in my mind. I'm adding white watercolor, if you're wondering, on top of that. And yeah. Interesting process of fixing or covering up or whichever. Okay, I think we can leave it at that. And I would still try to maybe do the lines, but in black, and maybe on that red indeed. Delicate or something. I don't know. I love the noises of pen. Yes, I honestly think it was good to fix, you know. The lines as well. It's actually so fun. I turned off the internet, so that shouldn't go through. The lines are not that straight, as you can probably see and tell. Some people, when they doodle, they do a lot of those dots and like dot. I don't know, it just, I don't really know how to do these things. I think lines is something that I'm better at, so maybe we can try and do some dots if it will feel okay anywhere. Oops, don't go there, Marta, on the yellow. You just get rid of them. What you think, Natalka?
It looks much better in the pink together.
I think so too. That yellow was just too, like, it's a gorgeous yellow, and it's a pity to, but also you said that it was too much yellow. I think we kind of as well managed to quieten down a little bit, that yellow with the white. So so maybe you were right as well, that it's maybe even better because it was nearly too yellow. So sometimes you can just by accident feel better about the project. One thing led to another, one thing fixed another, or whichever. I'm not great at horizontal lines, I can see. And let's get rid of this one. It's It's gonna be Natalie asked me how long it will be this project. I'm like, I think long. Yeah, I can see now as well. But I guess it's a way different than the other one, and I'm not too sure which is better, or yeah, like, I mean, what type of freedom I like. I like both. I like just smudging the paint without thinking, and I like to have a little bit of that controlled play, I guess. And this time I'm gonna move this one here, because I'm definitely bad at horizontal lines. I also don't want this to be too precise lines. It's okay, but these are so wobbly, super wobbly. And maybe I'll also do like a dot, like line, stop, line, stop, line, stop. I don't know the name of that, but like tiny little lines, like much more delicate, I guess. Oops, careful, Marta. Where are you going with that? We have it sort of everywhere, maybe no, not everywhere, maybe here as well. Oh, I like that idea, where we have sort of lines and they kind of are going, so the lines are not by themselves, but they kind of do go and join somewhere, like, you know? Oh yes, definitely, 100% way better, because it just felt that those lines are by themselves, like I don't know, like a glue down for no reason. And now we have the reason. They're going to the end of the, and they kind of connected then a little bit. I was also trying to do, I'll show you, I was also trying to do a little bit of these sort of doodles last night, you know, and I end up with this. And I think I kind of am in the zone of more arty feel than, I don't know how to say this. This is more, I don't want to sound wrong about it, but I just something here doesn't anymore speak the way as it speaks here. I don't know what difference that is, why I feel this, but it just feels that I want to do the old sort of nice and funky oh, I love it now. Look, if we even go back and wow, I love that it went outside. I love that now it feels that it's sewn or something, so that we're sewing. Partly, not all of it. That's nice. I think we're just giving it a little bit of more, it's like threads. I feel that they kind of like threads hanging around as we are sewing nearly with those lines. I think with each project as well we're gonna learn new feel, and I hope with each of these we will get more confident in doodle subject and what to do, what looks good, what feels right. Natalka, ty oddychaj. She really doesn't breathe, guys. So Natalie's starting her studies in when is it?
In a week.
In a week, yeah. In a week, mathematics. So now it's chilling time before the big study starts, before the student's life starts, which is exciting. And we've done some puzzles. We started 3,000 puzzles. 3,000, the three of us. So 1,000 each nearly. It's working out like that. It's not easy, guys. 3,000 pieces, it is not easy. We wanted 5,000. We brought it downstairs because I have few sets of puzzles that I just bought and we have it when we need it. But our mat on the table was too small. We couldn't fit the 5,000, so we had to go downsize it to 3,000. Maybe better because the 3,000 is already like a challenge of a challenge. Okay, guys, I think we can have this one done here. Or not? Or not? I don't know. I don't know. The main thing now is our gorgeousness. I wanted to say gold, but it's not gold. It is the beautiful hollow effect paint. Let me just show it to you. You need to allow it to set the color, the pigment. You know, it's like a pure pure hollow, pure glitter, pure everything pure. So make sure that you have it. The water needs to be set there. Now please mind that I'm putting it, and that's what we were talking with Natalie, I'm putting this pigment, the biggest amount of, on the darkest part, on the darkest surface, so it's gonna be more visible, obviously, prettier and nicer. So it's like going from the darker, oh I love it, going from the darker, I don't know if you can tell, you have to trust me, there you go. So you're going from the darker element, you're adding your element there or there, and you smoosh it outwards to your into your brighter part. There we go. Gorgeousness, like, it is seriously the most beautiful paint. I remember when I saw screen paints for the first time, I could not believe my eyes, because you know I've been using glitter, eco-friendly glitter and all, but when I saw the paints I was like, this is not possible. It's like a hollow in a paint. Ooh, hollow paint in the hollow effect in the paint. I mean, seriously, I just so loved it. Now you don't have to focus and have a lot of that shine everywhere. You can have like a dip, a touch, like a tiniest feel only. However it feels right, you know. I love it. Natalka,
I was waiting for the moment.
For what moment?
The glitter part.
The glitter part, yeah. No, it's actually making the project, I think. No matter how doodling or fixing the doodle part we're gonna do, it's the glitter that just speaks the volume here, and it just tells the story, I guess.
Yeah, but it has all the colors, so it
Yeah,
connects everything
very
together.
much. Yeah, very much so. I hope you can see. You don't see, because I'm dipping in all the time. Yes. Hannah loves this color, but of course she's like, no stopping her from this glittery glitter. Okay. Wow. I love it. I think I'm gonna add maybe a tiny touch here. Oh. Marta, be careful. You're all gonna overdo it. No, I think it's just the right amount in each page. But you know what? You'd be surprised what I'm gonna add. I think I'm gonna add black splashes. I think I will. we need some proper black. Let's see, we're gonna do drive test, if we're gonna do the splashes. Yeah, I think it will be nice to add, because it is kind of darkish. But before that, I need to dry this. I think we are ready for splashing us. I'm using this tiny brush, as you can tell. Now, I don't know, will we go for everywhere, or I don't know. I don't know. Let's just go small. No, maybe here. Sometimes go more, like in some of the places, because I think the beauty as well of it is that they are together the same, but they're very different. Same for what's going on around outside of them. Like there is splash, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna like you know, like it's important as well, I think, for the lightness of it, for the kind of nice feeling that those splashes are gonna land somehow different to each. Oops, to each as well. This may not work to actually fix it, guys. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. How to fix that now? I tell you how to fix that now. No. Well, yeah, no. White gesso would be... Oh, I know what's gonna be the good. Maybe. Let's see the white ink. Kind of, it's okay. Let's pretend it's not there. I don't know if it's your belly, Natalie, but my one, I think it's definitely rumbling right now.
Yeah, we need breakfast.
Yeah, we need breakfast. Now, be careful with that, Marta, because there's a wet surface. So, I think we kind of nearly done with that. I'm gonna efface, even do more here, do more here, do more here where it was originally. Same for here, more, and add somewhere. I'm just not too sure where. Oops. Janie McMarta. I won't be fixing this one for sure. Okay, I think we can just leave it as it is. Plus, how about white splashes? Why not? Now you can use whatever white, but whatever black you have. I love using my Winsor & Newton white. I'm lazy, so I love using it. It works like a charm. Oops. Yeah, I think we can just have it done like that, and that's it. Yeah, let's leave it because we will overdo it for no reason. It's already pretty. Wow, we did it. I don't want to move it too much in case this will trip over. My beautiful friends in Done and Dusted, let me know your thoughts. I remember when we made this project, I remember so many of you said that you really loved it. So I wonder if you have tried it, if you really actually had a first go on your grid journal. Let me know. I cannot hear your thoughts. So yeah, my beautiful friends, happy painting. That glitter paint, that hollow paint, it's all wow. Anyway, bye for now. See you soon.